Good afternoon, intuitives. It's on the morning shift today, so I wasn't going to make a video before leaving for work at 5:30 in the morning. So I'm here now. And, please make sure to check out my other videos if you stumble across this one and like it, because while I'm clearly not very good at this and don't know what I'm doing, I occasionally get things right and say things with my intuition that may make you think and help you through whatever situation you're currently going through. At least that's what I aim to do without sounding like a complete idiot most of the time. Yeah, when I can. And thank you for subscribing, and please continue to do so and share these videos with anyone whom you think they may help. And before I get into this topic, I want to remind everybody, that it is Memorial Day weekend, Remembrance Day, whatever you call it. So don't forget why we have tomorrow off. Well, most of us, I'll be working a golf tournament tomorrow that we hold yearly for the Folds of Honor. So, remember why this is a bank holiday tomorrow, and to thank all of those that men and women who have served in uniform. I myself never did, but as a former firefighter EMT, I worked alongside a lot of people who have, and some who have lost people. Remember, this day is for people who didn't make it home. I myself, I'm named after a Marine that was killed in Vietnam, so let's not forget that. Now, the topic I want to get into today is why INFJs are nomads. I myself am a nomad who wishes to no longer be one, but many INFJs go through a nomadic period in their life, especially those that, grew up in a narcissistic family. And I hope everyone who grows up in a narcissistic family goes through a nomadic phase and gets the fuck out of that situation. But the situations are a little bit different for INFJs. So, for one, most INFJs in most places are going to grow up an outcast, and your first instinct is going to be, well, there must be somewhere where I fit in, hopefully, or at least more so, because as I mentioned in a previous video that you all should watch, most INFJs hated high school, and basically because it is a artificial bubble environment and it's fake and superficial and not deep or, real. It's yeah, it's pretend land. It might as well be a movie set. Yeah, I'm going with that. So, INFJs, for the most part, growing up, we're idealists, so we have this idealistic idea of the type of place where we want to be. And while 100% that doesn't exist, there are obviously places that somewhat resemble that idealistic vision. I'll find Atlantis yet, damn it. Oh, no, wait. That's my childhood dream of finding the lost city of Atlantis. But nonetheless, that quote utopian place where you seek. And for me, it's a progressive urban environment with a professional fire department that's hired. That's now outside of the IAFF union because they don't like me very much. Damn good old boys club. But nonetheless, an INFJ is not going to settle. So if you grew up in an area that's like a cult, like Chestertology, where basically it's indoctrinated in you by mainly boomers that, you're born here, you die here, this is the whole world. Anything you want in life that requires you to leave this area is a pipe dream. Like, wanting to be a professional firefighter in, the greater Washington, D.C. area is as far-fetched as wanting to be, an astronaut or a movie star or president of the United States. Why? Because it's not here. Basically what I was told growing up. But for INFJs, we're not one to just accept the status quo. We'll question the hell out of it, especially when it's corrupt, outdated, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to go on a long rant there for once. And we'll be like, well, wait a minute. This isn't the whole world. I've been beyond its borders, and I didn't fall off the edge of the earth. And I didn't find any sea monsters or dragons. I was really hoping to. was really hoping to see some blue dragons and, some Nessie type creatures if I ventured outside of the borders of Chestertology. But alas, I did not see them. I did see when I was 12, I did see what's commonly referred to as the Thunderbird ones, which was pretty cool. It was essentially looked like a turkey vulture with gigantism. And yes, I am sure what I saw because I was 12 and didn't drink yet. And also, I see turkey vultures every day, and I know what a normal sized one looks like. But anyway, as INFJs, that nomadic nature of, well, I'll just move around and continuously search for what I'm looking for, and I won't basically put down roots until I find it or something, reasonably similar to what you're looking for. We're not the type that's going to go like, well, is what it is, and I live here, and everybody's telling me that everywhere is like here, so I might as well just make do with this, because no, everywhere else is going to be pretty much the same. No, bullshit, lies, lies, lies. No, a lot of places, even within the same country, have different cultures, different job opportunities, different types of activities to do, different values, different everything. So no, that outdated boomer idea of like, everywhere is exactly the same except maybe the weather. No, it's lies. And just because you don't like the culture or the economy sucks in a certain area or you feel like you don't fit in and never did, doesn't mean that there isn't a place where you're likely to find at least a group of people where you do. And as INFJs, you have to trust your intuition that tells your like inner nomad to seek that out and not to stop moving around until you find what you're looking for, I mean, and you may have to move more than just once. That first time might be like, well, this is better than where I was. So that move will validate, the idea of, well, so everywhere is not like where I was trying to get out of. So this is better, but it's not what I'm looking for. So you keep moving. And also another big driving force of the nomadic INFJ is we are very much tie our sense of identity and sense of purpose into our careers. And said career may require you to move, may require you to move more than once. So INFJs will do just about anything for our careers except for sell out our integrity, and that's not for sale. If we have to punch a famous photographer in the face, we're gonna do it. So moving around for one's career is pretty common, for an INFJ. And like I said, the area where you move to for the job may not be what you're looking for, and it may not be the exact job you're looking for. So you move again. There's no reason, especially if you're single, to limit yourself to a specific area or to not move to an area that you may like just because the people around you are telling you, well, people from here don't do that. Well, since when do you give a fuck about what the masses think? You don't want to be a part of their cult anyway. They're closed-minded and trying to pretend it's still 1986. Well, if you grew up where I did, that is. But I'm sure, sadly, there are people with similar experiences. And if you can relate to that, then you have my deepest empathy. And just know that I know what you went through, similarly. And it's like, yeah, trust me, it's not you. But there can be yet another driving force for the nomad INFJ. So INFJs, as I've said in many videos, most of us tend to be demisexuals, and we know exactly what we're looking for in terms of love. And, we've kind of been looking for our soulmates since we were 12. That whole casual dating, friends with benefits, short-term flings, not for us. Not at all. We don't even understand why anybody would want that. At least I don't. I've tried. It's given me migraines, even a nosebleed once. But, I've really got into a deep meditative state. Didn't work out so well. But maybe ayahuasca will help. Maybe, or at least, I'm very curious about ayahuasca. Everybody says you end up communicating with a goddess figure. And since I worship the goddess Diana, and I have so many questions about the things that have happened the past 2 years in my life that it would be nice to have a line to the divine to seek answers and purpose from. Nevertheless, that's a topic for another video. See, I did a sidebar after all. Can't help myself. But an INFJ, as I said, the unconditional love thing, which means we'll do just about anything for love, except sell out our integrity. Kill, yes. Sell out integrity, maybe. Selling out integrity is pretty much reserved for like our children if we have any. Probably the love of our life too. Probably. I'm not equipped to answer that. I clearly haven't found it yet. At least I hope not. Because if I have, that's sad. Anyway, the INFJ will move just about anywhere for unconditional love because to an INFJ, nothing is more important. Therefore, that is the one thing that can usurp the most important thing in our life being our career. If forced to choose between dream job and dream girl, INFJ guy here would choose dream girl because there's probably, there's, especially at this stage of the game, there's only one of them. Jobs that allow one said INFJ to make a difference in the world and help people in need. I have discovered and was forced to discover that there are other jobs than that of firefighter that allows one to do that. So realistically, an INFJ would move just about anywhere for unconditional love. As I've said in other videos, practically I would say, speaking for myself, I would move anywhere in the Anglosphere because I'm not wealthy and therefore have to work, and it would be extremely difficult for me to find gainful employment in a country that doesn't speak English, as that is the only language I speak fluently. So, to move to Munich would be very difficult for me to make a living. But, to move to Sydney or Toronto again, or, London, they speak English there. I, can probably find work there, as I would, similar work to what I could find here in the United States. Cultural barrier, yes. Language barrier, no. But we adapt pretty easily to new cultures, as I learned when I lived in Canada at age 20. Canada. 500 miles and a border between me and my narcissistic family. And it still wasn't enough. Let's try an ocean. But INFJ's nomadic nature, if they can't find the things that they're searching for in life, they will not give up and settle for what is available in that specific area. They will continue to seek that out and to go to far off places where few dare to venture in search of it. The elusive blue rose must be somewhere, and we will find it. Each and every one of us. Kind of thing. It's also a big draw to us being nomads is, we're independent, introverted people, so we only need a close group of friends, not like a big circle of acquaintances. And to move somewhere where we don't know anybody doesn't really scare us. It didn't scare me at 20. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to speak for all of us on this one. Doesn't really scare us. Double down. We understand that people drift apart over time. The friends you grew up with get married, get jobs, have kids, and move away, and you only talk to them a few times a year. We're very forward-thinking people as INFJs, and we understand that, the group of friends you're close with at 18 is going to drift apart. Like the type of friendship and the amount of time you all spend together drinking and hanging out when you're like in college age, that's not sustainable because college is also an artificial environment that, is going to eventually end. It is more like the real world in many aspects than high school, but it is still not fully what the quote real world is and the challenges that one faces once they are, outside of that whole student world thing. So INFJs also know that certain people are right for you at certain times in your life, and that's going to be a separate video because I'm not going on a 15-minute sidebar about that. We'll get into INFJ dating patterns, and ENFJs in a lot of ways mirror us there too. That's going to be like a 15-20-minute video in itself. Just trust me on that for now. So, we seek like-minded people and people that are like-minded, not just in general, but also in that stage in life, and people that are also seeking similar goals and objectives in life. And that gets weird too, because you can seek similar objectives through different means. Like somebody might want to make a difference in the world and help people by being the nut who runs into burning buildings for a living for very little money. And some people, may want to have the same objective, but they do it by, say, being a lawyer and representing those that have been, bullied, hazed, exploited at work, and to crush the old boys clubs that way. Some may run for political office for the same thing. Some, may even be famous celebrities who use their fame and influence for the same goals and try to make the world a better place and crush the old boys club. So when I mean like-minded, I'm talking like similar end game into what they want to do with either what their job purpose is, or use their job's influence and or money or power to cause the same goal. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean somebody in the same field as you. That happens a lot with a lot of people. It's like most firefighters, their world is firefighters, paramedics, nurses, doctors, and that's about it. Yeah, not enough variety there. But again, so that's my little message. Another sidebar in my messages is don't limit yourself to the people in your profession or like professions that your profession encounters. You can find people in completely different professions that are working towards the same goal as you by different means. I don't know why I went on that sidebar, but I did, and I don't edit, so it's staying in. So understand being nomadic isn't for everybody, but as INFJs, it's almost a necessary stage in our life we have to go through. As idealists, as people always seeking answers to questions and trying to fit in, you're going to want to wonder what else is out there from the area you grew up in. The only way to do that is to go out and see. And it'll also answer questions, especially if you wanted to leave that area and everybody was telling you that, this area is the greatest and everywhere else is just like it. No, they're liars. You go find out. Don't take my word for it. Go find out. I think in general, this is just me, INFJ or not, everybody should move, even if they love the area they grew up in, everybody should move away for at least a year. Your whole life shouldn't be based on one town and the people of that town and everybody knowing each other and everybody knowing everybody's family. And you need to broaden your horizon. See what people really think of you. See what people think of you for being you, not because of, what last name you have and what your relatives did, good or bad, and, what clique you were in high school, what you were like at 14 years old. Like, have people actually see you and judge you for who you are as a person at that moment in time, at that age in which you leave that area and go somewhere else. And college doesn't count. Military counts. College doesn't count. It's an artificial environment. Now, you could at least, if you're not going to do a year, at least when you're in college, take an internship in a different city than the one you're from, or the one that you live in a suburb of. Go find things. Yes, my young INFJs, your intuition that tells you that, they're, that the love of your life probably didn't go to the same high school as you is right. Because statistically speaking, the odds of that are pretty fucking low when you think about it. Now, statistically speaking, the love of your life is going to speak the same language as you. If you can connect in an unconditional love, truly connect with somebody in the unconditional love way without sharing a common language, explain how. I said love, not lust, damn it. I mean unconditional love, agape, not eros, physical attraction love. Let me be very clear on that. But being nomadic is a part of our nature. Now, it's not something we live with forever. Eventually, INFJs, even younger ones, it depends on your age, are going to figure out exactly what they're looking for, and not just like maybe specifically like, I want to work for this fire department. It's, what do I want my life as a whole to look like? And you're going to seek out an area where you can potentially, but not necessarily, find that. maybe a place with a lot of historical sites and museums in case you have no social life, and you can visit historical sites you've wanted to visit since you were 6, and therefore not completely be a hermit and reading and watching documentaries all the time, and of course have the career that gives you that sense of purpose and a paycheck to survive on, of course, and a sense of identity as well, and makes you feel like you are working towards the greater good. So understand, INFJs. Yes, you are going to move in your life. That is a part of being us. That instinct you have to seek what else is out there, and to trust your intuition that there's more out there than the world that the little world where you grew up, is right. So remember to trust your intuition if it's telling you to look elsewhere and to take a chance. And don't sell out your integrity for a job you are settling for just because it's everybody's telling you you must remain in the area where you grew up in, because they are wrong. There are places that are different. They're not all the same.